At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben sandwich or the prime rib French dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apple, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give
John Henry's
a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Here we are on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you on 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com. Stricky was on the show yesterday, back in the building. Welcome back to Lincoln, Stricky.
Yeah,
good to have you. Good to see you.
Man, I was just glad because, man, I had some great takes that I wanted to throw into the box. And doggone it, we had a reverberation, or what do you call it? Reverb or something. It was just echoing. And I was like, man, I couldn't hang out with my guy. I was a little disappointed, but that's okay. We worked it out. And outside of the flight stuff, was able to still get on and not have to worry about everything. I thought everything went well yesterday. Thank everybody once again for tuning in on the block 2 to 4 every week. But on top of that, I hope that you had a wonderful, wonderful holiday with you and yours, your loved ones, and everything is A-okay.
Stricky, who's on the block brought to you by?
By Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. I'm a little upset. Charles, I'm letting you know. I'm upset. DP got the benefit of a Thanksgiving meal, and but I wasn't even here to partake in. So I'm not too upset, Charles and the crew. 27th and Pine Lake, always you can go out there and get it done. It's just not today. Not today.
But tomorrow.
But tomorrow you can go out there, 27th and Pine Lake. Say hello to the wonderful folks out there at Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them know that On the Block sent you.
Please do. We appreciate them and everything they do for us here at 93.7 The Ticket, and of course, specifically us here on the block. All right, let's dive into some NFL stuff here, Strick. Just a quick note, near and dear to my heart, probably always will be. Shaq Leonard, recently released by the Indianapolis Colts, visited Dallas, and he's off to Philadelphia to visit the Eagles. Hasn't done a whole lot for the Colts this year. Wasn't maybe put in the best positions, didn't produce when he was in those positions, really fell out of the rotation really quickly due to injuries and a lack of production. I do like the idea of getting him on a contender at midseason.
Why do you think the release?
Because of the money. And I do think because of some of the comments, right?
Okay.
That's a guy that I think the locker room really respected, but I do think it's a first-time head coach trying to find his way and get his footing with a new organization.
Yeah.
So I think even though the locker room really respected him, I think some of the comments got to be a little bit too much. You couple that on top of $19 million per year that they had to pay him for not even a rotational guy anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of see the writing on the wall.
And see, that's the part about this whole thing. And people ask me all the time, Strick, what was it about football? Why didn't you play? And that had a lot to do with it. Not saying not being a rotation. I understand the business side of it. Right. I get it. But that was why I made a business decision, because I'm like, your money ain't your money. Like, if it comes down to a business decision, they can get rid of you. Now, what I do love about certain organizations, Austin, like, for example, like Seattle, what I love about them is, like, for example, they realize the value that some reason my mind went to
Bobby
Warner.
Wagner?
It was not Warner. I'm like, it's not Warner, it's Wagner.
Yep.
Bobby Wagner, how they brought him back. And because of the relationship that they have, even though we couldn't keep you, and it was a business decision to why we couldn't keep you, but yet we can still find a way to touch you. And that goes to the thing that there was a topic that we were going to talk about. We just weren't able to get into it. And it's just the loyalty.
Right.
And we talked about that loyalty question. And my question to you on the Starter Heyman text line, as well as you, Austin, do you think that where would you say the prevalence of loyalty is in sports?
The bottom line.
Okay. And who does it better as far as the big sports? As far as saying he's one of us type of thing. What does it better? NBA, MLB, NHL, you even say soccer.
So,
who does it better?
I think,
and I would love to hear from you guys as well.
Let me say this. I think football does it the worst with the lack of guaranteed contracts. And despite being the biggest sport where that salary cap is at, I don't think there's a whole lot of loyalty anywhere in football, right? Maybe you sign your one or two big name guys. And then if you're wide receiver 2 or 3, there might not be money for you. You see it to some degree in the NBA where you get, Andre Iguodala hanging around. You get Udonis Haslem hanging around.
You see organizations do it better than most, like Miami.
Absolutely.
Or, like Golden State, how they're even battling with it in their mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you could probably say Denver probably could be
working
one of those
way
ones.
There. Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
Yeah, in baseball, it's just so different because of how many teams there are. Guys can catch on with a minor league team, how the waiver system works. You can keep a guy around on your bench and not play him a lot more and get away with it in baseball than you can any other sport unless he's a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I think there are a lot of model organizations that show loyalty the organizations themselves will be pretty loyal to guys, but the story in the NBA is how many players are loyal to the franchises. Not very many anymore.
Yeah, and I think that has been a shift, and we talked about that on the block. One of the last to do that, I'd have to say, was, to see it was probably Dirk, and how that all panned out. Now, I still thought, and I can't remember if they did this, not Sutter Heyman text line, remind me if they did or did not. But you would have thought maybe that Boston would have brought Paul back.
Right.
Just even for a day or 10 days.
Retire a Celtic.
So that he's a Celtic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you even recognize KG as yes, he got a champion, but every time I think of KG, I continue to think about Minnesota, right?
Always.
I look at that. Then I look at any other organizations. You're absolutely right. There's not much loyalty out there at this particular time. And I see where you're going.
Let's flip that loyalty conversation to the NFL. Is Aaron Rodgers being loyal to the Jets by pushing his recovery the way he is?
Yeah, so I love the transition there, and what I think about this whole thing is it ultimately comes down to Woody Johnson, right? The owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says that you don't fire players, you fire coaches. You fire coaches before you fire GMs, but both, Saleh, and Douglas.
Yep, Joe Douglas.
Both Saleh and Douglas are on the hook for this one, right? They understood the ramifications. They understood the potential loss of a first-round draft pick. And we know that this Jets team has been through this. They've seen this picture before, especially Woody, right? The owner, Woody Johnson. They've seen it with Brett Favre. They had a sneak peek into that, I think, in 2008 with Brett Favre, and how that all panned out. Ends up having an injury, one that they didn't put on the reports because they were trying to mask it and hide it. So they go from an 8-3 record to a 9-7 and miss the playoffs, preserve the first round pick because of it, but it was on the hook.
Yep.
This is a little bit different situation. You have Aaron Rodgers that needed to play more than 65% of the snaps in 4 snaps. He loses his opportunity to do so. So in essence, to me, when I look at this, Austin, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of Woody Johnson has the unique ability at this point to not have to take the scrutiny, the media, the eyes, and he can point because they're the ones that basically went to the crap table and put it all on in the field. If you know craps, you understand what I'm saying. You put it all in the field, hoping to hit a 2, a 3, a 4, I think a 9, a 10, and the likes in order to win, right? But you missed right now. So to me, the only one I think, Austin, that can save those two potentially is Aaron Rodgers in a return. Not necessarily it doesn't necessarily have to be a win-all type of scenario, right? Austin, it don't have to be that. It just has to be you can take a picture, a snapshot, a snippet, and look at it and say, you know what, this might be all right. Because I think you kind of saw that in September, and you know, you saw that there was some potential there. The offensive line is hurting right now. They're struggling. They're injured and beat up. So what does it actually do? We're going to actually see pretty soon.
The why Aaron Rodgers would risk it at the tail end of his wildly successful career, even with only one Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, because the body doesn't heal.
The
body doesn't heal the same at 40 plus that it did at 20 plus.
It does not. Yeah. So you couple that with the Jets being so far out of it, that to me says a lot about what Aaron Rodgers thinks about Saleh and Douglas, that he wants them around. He likes them.
Yeah.
And that's huge for any organization, right? We saw Aaron Rodgers have a falling out with the Green Bay front office and, you know, some of his head coaches in the past before because of stuff. So if Aaron Rodgers likes those guys, they should feel pretty confident that their owner, Woody Johnson, like you said, won't let him go. But that to me speaks very highly of them, because Aaron Rodgers could just say, nope, I'm good. I'm parking it for the season.
He could ayahuasca you.
He very much, he'd go darkness retreat on you. But he's choosing to go this hard in his rehab.
Yeah.
Maybe it's motivated personally. He wants to, you know, prove the doubters and the haters or whoever else wrong.
4 months instead of 6.
But 6 months just to get back to activity, not just 6 months return, but to potentially be playing again come January.
Right.
That would be an absolute miracle. Of modern medicine. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. So maybe this is Aaron Rodgers thinking of someone outside of himself.
Which is not necessarily typical of what you would think about an Aaron Rodgers per se.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Which is why I think that's so fascinating. Robert Saleh has admitted that maybe he shouldn't have, you know, stuck with Zach Wilson. I don't know why we're still running him out there. So you can tell he wants Aaron Rodgers back. But let me throw this to you, Strick. Say Aaron Rodgers does come back right after the new year. Gets, you know, a few games to go, or, you know, right before the new year, gets a couple games under his belt. Maybe the Jets win, maybe they don't. But what all is involved for an NFL quarterback to get his conditioning, his game time, and his rhythm back? We saw Deshaun Watson, after a really long layoff, struggle for a handful of games after his 11-game suspension. Is Aaron Rodgers good enough to just pick up right where he left off? Or would this be something where he uses these last few games as kind of a reintroduction, and then it's the next season, hope he showed enough promise to tell Woody Johnson to keep the band together?
That's where I would say, right? I think it's a precursor or a prelude or something of that nature into the 2024 season, right? But here's something you got to think about, right? Figure out a way. Look at the schedule. I haven't totally went in depth on their schedule at this particular point, but looking at the schedule, there is a hodgepodge in the AFC right now, to where if you can just figure out a way to win a few games, you're right there in the mix. You're only one game or so out of it, of that big jumbo, you know, the jumbotron of teams in there.
Yeah.
Right. And none of them is really trying to take the reins right now. I think you can say the Broncos are kind of a little bit trying to emerge a little bit. They're coming out of the doldrums. You see flashes out of the Raiders here and there, right? I think the Chargers are still a little bit, for me,
Chargers are done.
Colts still trying to figure out the quarterback.
They're coming.
Yeah, they're
Playoffs,
still
baby.
looking good. But doggone, the Bills don't know what the freak they still want to do. So I say just try to figure out a way to win a couple games. Stay right there. Get through maybe, if you can go in 3 weeks in December, you can go 3-1 and squeak some wins out. I don't care how you do it. Or 2-2.
Well, they'll have opportunity.
You're still there.
They have the Falcons coming up this week.
Yeah.
You won't be back for that one. After that, you have the Texans,
That's
Dolphins.
going to be a tough one. Texans actually look pretty good.
Yeah, Texans
They're
and Dolphins will be tough.
Yeah.
You have the Commanders.
That's a possibility.
At home.
Yeah.
Going to the Browns will be tough. That's a really good defense.
The defense is phenomenal.
I still don't know if I fully trust the Browns. And then you finish out the year with the Patriots, who are going to be in full-on tank mode. 3-3 is probably the optimistic end for the Jets, but if you're Douglas and Saleh and Woody Johnson, you say, hey, Aaron Rodgers came back and we were 3-2 with him back in the lineup. Even if we were 2-3 with him back in the lineup, we saw flashes of the old Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, let's run it back.
Yeah, I think you don't risk it though, Austin, if your line is still decimated.
Right.
That's where I wouldn't risk it, because one of the best things about Aaron Rodgers is his mobility, not just necessarily his feet mobility like a Jalen Hurts or anybody like that, or even Allen, like Josh Allen, not even like him. I'm talking about just mobility to step up into the pocket, to clear space, get out maybe 2 to 3 yards outside of the pocket and be able to make a play, just to extend time. You don't want him to have to be doing that. You want Aaron Rodgers to be able, with his quick release, that's what he's got, one of the quickest releases in the league, to be able to just sit in the pocket, read, and get rid of. If you get the best out of that from Rodgers, even if he has to throw it away, you get that out of him, you can still, I think, have success. I think your running game is not too bad. I mean, if the line steps up a little bit, but if he's going to be getting pressure under 2 seconds to where they're whiffing and doing all that, I think you leave him out.
That's tough for any quarterback to deal with, let alone a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury. I'll ask you this, Strick, to wrap up this segment. Over this offseason, if you're the Jets, which are you going to shore up first? Do you go get a wide receiver 2 behind Garrett Wilson, or do you get another offensive lineman?
I think you probably, I wouldn't waste a top pick. Like, if you can preserve your pick, I don't think he's going to get to 65% of the snaps. So that's not going to happen. So at worst, you're going to lose what? I think it was a second rounder.
Yeah.
I personally think you can find a good lineman in the 3rd to 5th. So go get you a wide receiver 2.
Free agent wide receiver draft on the line.
I would. Yeah. I think I'd go find a really, because here's why. A lot of people are going to be chasing quarterbacks.
Yep.
Like that. I mean, it's widely known that the quarterback position is down. They're going to be trying to figure it out. And there's so many in it. They're going to be, so you're probably going to be able to land a really good one.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people are going to be, chasing quarterbacks. What's your thoughts? Sorry, him text line. Talk to me.
402-464-5685. Let him know on the text line. Also, though, use that number to call the Honda of Lincoln hotline for the shootout with Strick. That's right. It is back. It's been a week since we played. 402-464-5685. 4 questions for Erick Strickland. 4 questions for you. You beat him. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings is all yours. Really appreciate them for sponsoring the game show. We'll play it when we get back.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Don't miss the most innovative ag technology that exists today on display in Lincoln at the Nebraska Ag Expo, the second largest indoor ag show in the U.S., December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Check out all the latest technology in row crop and livestock production, robotics, and more at the expanded Innovation Hub. Mark your calendar. That's December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Register online at NebraskaAgExpo.com to get your tickets in advance and save $5. See you in Lincoln. The Nebraska Ag Expo is sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Iron Height Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Iron Height Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironheightconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Regarding Chubba Purdy.
Yeah, what Chubba? Nobody asked if he was going to start. Fascinating to me.
It's the first time. First time there's been no question.
Now, what everybody said to me, Jake, Bill, was simple. Why do you have to ask? You know he's going to start. I guess. Sort of interesting to me that nobody even you didn't say. So
I think that would be remarkably shocking if all of a sudden somebody else jogged out there beside him.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now 464-5685 to take your shot against Erick Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
And we have a contestant on the line. For those who don't know, this is Shootout with Strick, brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings. Make sure you check them out. $30 is the prize. We play it every Tuesday and Thursday here on the show. We go to our Honda of Lincoln hotline for the game show. We welcome in Dave. Dave, how are you? How was your Thanksgiving weekend?
Oh, I'm still eating turkey.
Is that a good thing? Are you enjoying your leftover turkey?
No.
Oh, you're not? You're sick of it?
I had the last of it yesterday, and I said that's enough.
Fair enough. Well, here's the thing, Dave. You need Buffalo Wings and Rings, it sounds like. Are you ready to take on Strick for $30 there?
I am.
Excellent. Hold on the line. We'll give Strick his questions, and then we'll get to you. All right, Stricky, we're going college basketball. We're going the AP poll. Some interesting movers and shakers. You ready?
Yes.
All right, the shootout begins here in 3, 2, and 1. They rose to number 1 in this week's men's AP poll. Purdue or Arizona?
Purdue.
Yep, they're the highest-ranked Big 12 team. Houston or Kansas?
Houston.
It's Kansas. They rose the most spots in this week's poll. Florida Atlantic or Kentucky?
Atlantic.
Yep, and they won the Battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas last weekend.
Purdue.
Purdue won Maui.
Maui!
Purdue did not.
Can I change it? Euro. Oh!
You cannot. You ran out of time.
No!
Ran out of your guess.
It was Maui.
It was Maui. The answer, Villanova.
Ooh,
Villanova
sneaky.
won the Battle for Atlantis.
They're sneaky. Now you gotta watch Villanova. They're always gonna have some senior. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so you got 2. Dave,
All right.
you need 2 to tie. You need 3 to win. Are you ready for your round of the shootout?
I think so.
All right, starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They rose to number 3 in the men's AP poll this week. Marquette or UConn?
Oh, brother. Let's go UConn.
It's Marquette. They're the highest-ranked ACC team. Duke or Miami?
Let's go Duke.
Yep, they fell the most spots in this week's poll. Creighton or Alabama?
Creighton.
Yep, and they won the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City last weekend.
Oh, brother. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, the guess incorrect. We will go to the tiebreaker. The answer, Colorado State. Colorado State beat Creighton down in Kansas City, 69-48, the Rams over the Blue Jays. All right, we go to the tiebreaker. Dave, hold on the line. We will give Strick the question. He will guess a number. You will go over, under for the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All right, Stricky.
Yeah.
Again, with the AP poll, that's where we're headed for this question. How many combined losses do the top 10 teams in this week's AP poll have? How many combined losses do the top 10 teams in this week's AP poll have?
Four.
Stricky says 4. Dave, are you going over or under 4 losses for the current top 10 teams in the men's AP poll?
Oh, brother. Let's go under.
Stricky had a great guess. The number is 5. 5 losses, 2 by Tennessee, 1 each by Duke, Kansas, and Marquette. Dave, so close. 1 away from $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Thanks for playing. Try again next time. Dave's gone. Stricky, the skin of your
I'm on
teeth.
a roll,
You pull it
baby.
out. Look
I'm
at
on a
you
roll.
go.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I love it.
Well done.
We just need a Creighton, Nebraska win. I mean,
Nebraska
the other
win
way
over
around.
Creighton.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just need that.
That'll be Sunday. We do still have the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away. We will do that at the top of next hour. We will come up with a trivia question of some sort for y'all to answer on either the text line or the Honda of Lincoln hotline. So come back for your chance to win the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. On top of that, we're going to dive into the college football playoff. 8 teams right now with 0 or 1 losses. Are we in for a weekend of craziness finally to shake up the college football playoff picture? We'll get into that and plenty more as we continue on the block. He's Erick Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. More on the block in just a moment.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brand!
Sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket studio.
Enjoy some Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, November 29th at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street. Parking available on 11th Street or in nearby garages. Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Don't miss the most innovative ag technology that exists today on display in Lincoln at the Nebraska Ag Expo, the second largest indoor ag show in the U.S., December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Check out all the latest technology in row crop and livestock production, robotics, and more at the expanded Innovation Hub. Mark your calendar. That's December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Register online at NebraskaAgExpo.com to get your tickets in advance and save $5. See you in Lincoln. The Nebraska Ag Expo is sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Join me, Sip, and Coach Bush for Early Break this Friday, December 1st at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge. Call today to reserve your free lane for free bowling at 402-467-3249. And if you don't bowl, still enjoy free coffee and donuts. That's this Friday, for the 60th anniversary of Madsen's Bowling and Billiards. Early break, 6 to 8 on location.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies, be a little breezy at times, those winds out of the southwest. Otherwise, we'll see a high of around 47. Tonight, we'll see clear skies with an overnight low around 24. And tomorrow, mainly sunny skies to return. We'll see an afternoon high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Brought to you by none other than Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. I'm Austin Orman. He is Erick Strickland. Big shout out to Charles Lasagna, the whole crew down there at 29th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. Make sure you go check them out. Starting tomorrow through the weekend, open Wednesday through Sunday. Tell them On the Block sent you. We would really appreciate if you let them know that you're listening to us, right? And that they got traffic because of us. They do great work for us. We really appreciate them. And we appreciate you blockheads tuning in with us here from 2 to 4. I'm Austin Orman. He is Erick Strickland. And if you want to be a part of the show, you always can on the Starter Heyman text line or the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. We also have our streams up and running for you, brought to you also by Starter Heyman Jewelers, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We'll give the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings away next segment because we got business to get to right now, Stricky. The college football playoff. We are into conference championship weekend.
Yeah.
Without a whole lot of major upsets or major surprises. Nobody that was ranked highly to begin the year, has really fallen too far off. Nobody that started pretty low has risen
up
too high.
Mm-hmm.
You have your success stories like Missouri and like Louisville kind of coming out of nowhere. They don't factor into the college football playoff picture at this point because they both have 2 losses.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say North Carolina, Penn State fell a little bit further than expected. USC probably in that conversation as well. But among the top, 10 teams really in the country, it's pretty chalky.
Yeah.
You have Georgia, you have Michigan, you have your Oregon and Washington, Florida State, Texas only has 1 loss, Bama only has 1 loss. They've responded well. Ohio State was running the table until this last weekend when they played Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's historic. For the first time in the 4-team playoff era, there are 8 teams, 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with either 0 or 1 losses right now. It seems like the college football playoff is pretty cut and dry right now. Conference championship weekend, though, could really shake things up.
It could really throw a wrench in a lot of things on this weekend. One of the things that I think you've seen is usually what we've had, especially in the BCS time frame, even prior to that, obviously, when like Michigan and Nebraska both split a championship, you would have loved to have just seen them go at it with those 2 illustrious teams, great teams. But at the same time, you're seeing a lot of parity. I don't think you have a lot of the controversies kind of illuminating themselves as they have in the past. I think you've seen a lot of parity. I think you've seen the benefit of good scheduling to, as long as you handled your business within it and took care of your conference, you're going to be right there. But then you've seen a great, snip picture of what's potentially to come with the expanded college football playoff. So I really like that about it. There's still some things left to determine whether or not. Now, here's where I think the sad part possibly comes in. I think Florida State might get clipped by Louisville.
You do? Okay.
Now, if they don't, it'll be the biggest, it'll come down to here's where you're going to see this. You're not going to see Michigan move up unless Georgia falls to Alabama.
Correct.
Is that possible? The fact that Alabama has dropped hurts them. And they continue to be situated below below Texas, who they lost to. So the committee's been pretty easy on how they've been doing things, because there's a way that they could have read it a little bit differently. They're taking into account a lot of those things, the wins over who they won and so forth and so on. So Florida State, I don't think moves unless Washington takes the L, because I think Oregon can overtake them.
If Oregon beats Washington, yes.
So there's where that happens. Alabama, I think, can beat. I think this Georgia team is very susceptible. Now, what scares me is what Auburn did to them. Auburn manhandled them.
Okay, let's talk about the end of that game, Stricky. We didn't get a chance to. 4th and goal from the 31-yard line. You're covering 5 receivers with 8 guys, and you let one get behind you.
The freaking
Auburn, what are you doing?
The defensive
Opelika,
coordinator,
stand up. Come on.
Opelika, yeah, they broke me on that one. But here's the problem. 4th and 30. You only rush 2?
And spy. That's it.
You only rush 2 and spy. You don't even need a spy.
No.
In that situation. You're putting people in there, and I'm even late blitzing.
Sure.
Because I don't care if you catch it at the 20. I don't care if you catch it at the 15. I'm keeping eyes back there, 4 people minimum, 5 with maybe a centerpiece, rushing 3 with maybe a late blitzer with one that's kind of looking for an opening. He may be spying, kind of holding out at that 25, 30, 30, 25 yard line, just kind of seeing who
Seeing if you're on anything underneath Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce style.
You know what I'm saying? And then as he's trying to figure out how lanes are open, then I run at him, because I want him to release that ball. I don't want him to sit back there and have time to just peruse and look around and, hey, la-di-da-di-da, and then toss a pass.
Hey, Short, do you see this? See what's coming? Watch it.
There's no way I'm letting him sit back there like that. So either it's either it's some of that going on, or that defensive coordinator needs to be fired, like tonight, because there's no way you don't let him sit back. I don't care if you all out blitz with guys standing back there. Okay, if you all out blitz, they're going to have to hold somebody in and max protects, because you're not going to have enough time. So you jump routes, even if you do hot routes in that situation, turn them into slants, turn them into drags. I don't give a dang if you catch them. If I've got 3 people back there, you're going to have to beat me. But I'm not going to let you Hail Mary beat me.
No.
So, if y'all think I'm crazy, holla at me. Sutter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. I'm coming.
C. Munden, John, and Cortland, we see you. C. Munden, we'll maybe get to that with Jay and the crossover. But as we look at the college football playoff here, Strick, the rankings will be unveiled tonight, again, before conference championship weekend. Georgia was number 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, Washington 4 entering the weekend. Ohio State drops. How far do you think they drop? Do they stay in it at number 4? Are they out of the picture now at 5 or 6, or do they drop as far as 7 or 8?
I personally think they're going to fall below that.
Okay.
And I think they could possibly fall to just maybe ahead of Texas or maybe ahead of Alabama.
So in that 7 to 8 range.
You know what I mean? I don't think they fall behind them because it was actually a pretty good game.
Maybe to 6 then? 6 or 7?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely not to where they can get back in it, but
they shouldn't be able to get back in it because they're not
going
to
play in the championship. No. And that has happened in the past where a team has snuck in that way. I don't think that's the case in this scenario. I'm without Jordan Travis, I'm really worried about Florida State and their future. Because even if they beat Louisville, they're doomed. That'll be that would be like them playing Cincinnati, you know, back, when that was going on. Right. If I'm Michigan, they're in trouble too from staying at 2, but they don't care if they drop to 3. It's the same thing.
Same game.
It's just
different colored jersey.
That's it, right? Because that's very possible. Because Iowa they're not going to be
23.5 point favorites right now.
They're not going to be a big test for them, so they're not going to benefit from that. Georgia, it's only a potential loss for them. I don't think Alabama, even by beating Georgia, will have enough to leapfrog because why? You have Oregon, Washington. So somebody from that group, if Florida State doesn't prevail, is going to win out. But I still don't think that they will let Ohio State back in. It's going to depend on what Texas does in their championship game
and how they look.
Or then they may leapfrog Bama back into the mix at that point, because I don't see them letting Ohio State back in.
No,
I don't see that happening. But it could, not without playing. But I can see a leapfrog there. Because Missouri's out of it, Penn State's out, everybody else is out of it. So those are really the only ones.
Louisville's done. Yeah, Mississippi done. I think the committee's dream scenario in terms of simplicity.
Do Tulane jump from 18 to too many drinks over the week?
To the SEC again before it jumps into this playoff.
Too many drinks over the weekend, Stricky?
Just one too many. Just that one extra sip gotcha.
Sheesh. Yeah. 11-1, dang it.
Yeah, dream scenario for the committee, in my estimation. Georgia wins, Michigan wins. You got 1 and 2 set. Florida State wins, and it doesn't matter out of the Pac-12. I think that's the most likely for right now.
Yeah.
But I still think the committee is paying attention to how Florida State looks without Jordan Travis. You don't want to write off the rest of that team, but if Texas looks better than Florida State does and they both win, I could see the committee saying Florida State's down its best player. We don't think this game would be as close against this caliber of competition. Texas beat someone better or comparable. We're going to jump Texas all the way up. Because let's say Oregon beats Washington. They're in. Washington's not getting in. If Washington beats Oregon twice, okay, they're safe. They're probably at number 3 would be my guess. So then you're stuck with Florida State without its best player, or 2-loss Oregon who lost to the same team ahead of Texas. Bama's not jumping them if Bama loses to Georgia. I think the committee would say, sorry, Florida State, we know you can't control your injury, but we think a full-strength Texas is better than you right now, so you're getting jumped. Texas is our 4.
What conference, if you were to look on the outside looking in with no bias to it, what conference schedules do you view stronger this year? Is it the ACC, or do you think the Big 12?
I think the Big 12. I still do. I don't think the Big 12 was as good as it has been. I think the bottom 4 teams that came in kind of drug that strength of schedule down a little bit, but I still think there's a lot of really good, really solid teams in that Big 12. I mean, you didn't have the second contender in the championship game set until the final weekend. It still came down to Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Kansas State.
Yeah.
That all had a shot at it. Those are all, solidly bowl eligible teams in that 8, 9, 10 win range. The ACC just didn't have much. Carolina took a big step back from what they were expected to do. Clemson wasn't it. Duke fell off. Miami ain't it. Louisville came out of nowhere in year 1 under Jeff Brom. I still think people are like, okay, it's year 1, whatever. He got lucky for now. So I think the Big 12 would get the benefit of the doubt there.
That's what I wanted to throw out at you. I feel the same way. Sorry, I'm a text line 402-464-5685. Definitely would love to hear from you guys as well. I personally think it's going to depend really on Quinn Ewers and that Texas team and how they perform. If I'm in that locker room and I'm coaching them, I'm telling you, we're looking to beat them by 30. I mean, go get it. Don't leave nothing out on the field. Don't think you're securing anything. You need to go and get a big one and do it big if you're going to give yourself a chance.
Let's talk chaos. Let's blow this whole thing up and start over. Is Georgia out of the playoff if they lose to Bama, or are they still in?
They'll probably get in at 4.
If Michigan loses to Iowa, out or in?
Out.
Okay.
Out. And here's why. Because it depends, right? everybody and their mama knows that Iowa is horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
They're horrible.
Fraudulent.
There's fraudulent 10-win team. There's no way. If you're anybody of your salt or worth, there's no way you think that, especially down with Cooper DeJean too.
Mm-hmm.
And if he stays down, I mean, he may come back and try to make a recovery. I don't know. You just never know. He might be, Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, there's nobody that believes, even the bettors, the lines makers believe that Iowa team has a chance against. Now, it'll be a miracle. It'll be an absolute miracle if it does happen. Okay? And it does happen. So it does. What happens? You tell me.
I still think Michigan hangs on to the 4. I think they dropped to 4, but I think they're playing Georgia in the first round.
Okay, so you think Georgia goes to 3? If they lose to Bama, you say they don't drop out, they go to 3.
3, yes. Which means the 1 seed would be your Pac-12 champ.
Washington or Oregon.
At
11-1.
I think even Oregon, if they avenge that loss, they've been playing better. They pasted Oregon State over the weekend, whereas Washington snuck by Washington State. If Florida State loses, if Georgia loses, if Michigan loses, we might be talking about 1 seed Oregon.
Wow.
Which I don't know if I believe. If Florida State, so Augie throws this out here as a way to try to get Ohio State into the playoff. If Texas loses their championship game, the Big 12's out.
Big 12's out for sure.
If Georgia beats Alabama, so Georgia's in, Georgia's the 1.
So Alabama gets left on the doorstep.
Yep. If Florida State loses and Washington loses,
that would suck.
It would.
You come back and avenge.
You get left out in the cold like that.
You lost early. You made your run. You won tough ones. You did what you had to do. You handled business. You scraped and scrapped, but you still get left on. I think the Auburn game hurt them.
It did.
I'm gonna say it, and I think they're sitting in that 6, maybe right just outside. If they dominated that Auburn game, go ahead.
If Georgia, I think if Alabama wins, Bama and Georgia are both in. If Michigan loses and Washington loses, I think then a Texas win gets them in and Bama's in. So I would say Georgia, wouldn't even do Georgia at the 1. There's still so many combinations of ways for this to play out. I still think 2 SEC teams is unlikely.
Yeah.
But
my boy Mississippi Mud Dog, he popped up. We were just talking about him earlier. He says if Bama upsets Georgia, he said they'll be in.
So is that Georgia at the 2, Bama at the 4? Is that Georgia 2, Bama? You wouldn't give a rematch. It would have to be Georgia 2 or 3 and Bama jumping from 8 to 4.
Oof. But
so
that's
if Michigan wins, they're the 1 playing Bama.
That's unprecedented, and it would cause the controversy you like going into the 12-team playoff. I mean,
this is why we need expansion.
Yes,
this is it.
That's why
Bama snuck in again. Saban's the fix is in.
It's always something, bro. Love. It's always something. But it's a wild West game.
It is.
Only if the chaos jumps off and the tornado hits and everybody falls victim to it.
Thundernut Collins is saying Ohio State won't drop as much as you think because of who they beat and the team they lost to. The Penn State win was good. I think it's a little bit devalued.
Yeah, it's fraud.
Notre Dame, whatever. Maybe Ohio State only drops to 5 on the outside looking in. That's a tough sell, though, to keep them ahead of Oregon, the way Oregon's been playing with a conference championship game coming up. The reason I think Ohio State drops further down than you think, Thundernut Collins, is so if there is an upset, the committee doesn't just have to feel like they slide them up by default. You drop them further down because they lost their shot to play for a conference championship game.
Yes. And there's no way to me that sitting on the sidelines, you should be the beneficiary of, having to fight to stay alive in a championship game. I don't like that. That don't even taste right to me. I'm drinking a, drink right now, an energy drink, and that don't even give me an energy boost.
No.
To think about that happening. I don't like it.
What's your favorite college football playoff that we can get, Stricky? If you're drawing it up, you're Commissioner Strickland. You get to pick the playoff.
Four
Yep,
teams?
4 teams. Who's your dream 4 to come out of this weekend for the college football playoff?
Okay. I would like a matchup of Georgia, Oregon.
As the 1 and 4?
1 and 4.
Okay.
And then I would like the matchup of Michigan, Texas.
Ooh.
If I had my way.
Okay. I like it.
I think the styles, I think it would make for good football. Power against, finesse. Balance against high flying activity. Active. Just I think it would make for good football.
Ryan in Nashville has the same teams as you. He has Oregon, Michigan, Georgia, Texas. I don't know if that's the order. Text line, let us know your dream college football playoff after this weekend, 402-464-5685. Or on stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter are all available for you here. My dream playoff, Stricky, is this way. Keep Georgia at 1. I think that's fine. They beat Alabama. They go to 13-0. They're the 1 seed. Give me Michigan over Iowa. Michigan gets the 2. I have a really hard time rooting for Oregon over Washington. I have family that lived up in Seattle. They're Nebraska fans at heart. A couple of them went to college here at Nebraska, but they're Huskies fans on the side. I'm pulling for Washington in this game. It seems like the lines and the trends are going Oregon's way right now. I want Washington at that 3. I want Washington to be the team that beats Michigan. I don't particularly care who's at the 4. I would hate to see Florida State clipped like we were talking about, but I think it makes too much sense. So give me Texas at the 4 because of the 2019 Sugar Bowl. 28-21, Texas beats Georgia.
Vince
Young?
Vince Young.
No, that's 2005.
That was 5.
2004, 2005.
Oh.
The 2019 Sugar Bowl was famous for Sam Ehlinger beating Georgia. We're back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want Georgia, Texas as my 1-4. I want Michigan, Washington as my 2-3.
They beat Ohio State.
2005?
Right?
It was Texas USC.
It was USC. Okay.
Yep. USC won it in 04. Texas came back against them in 05.
That's right. Hey, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Okay, go ahead.
So then, the first 2 teams out for me are Florida State and the loser of the Pac-12 championship game. Those are my first 2 teams out.
Okay. Well,
and then Ohio State and then Alabama.
Jim in no way, Jim on the YouTube stream does not feel in any form or fashion that Bama could beat Georgia. I think it's weird. I think something weird could transpire. Just think of how weird that is that they would lose. You think they would only drop 2 spots if they lose, right?
They're still in.
So
and you can't have a first-round rematch.
If they lose, I think they drop 2 spots. Bama could probably leapfrog to 4. Then you have who number 1? Washington?
Pac-12 champ. Or if Michigan wins, they slide up. If Michigan loses, your Pac-12 champ is number 1.
Michigan out?
If
Michigan
loses
to Iowa, they out, bro. Get them out of here. Wolverines go bye-bye. Out. I think they're out if they lose to Iowa. I would not vote them in any form or fashion. That would be me.
The reason you would say that is strength of schedule. Cupcake non-conference.
Yeah.
Cream puff. Their only 2 good wins would be Ohio State and Penn State.
Yeah.
So you could make that argument that, hey, they got upset by an inferior team in the conference championship game. They don't have a non-conference win to back it up. Oh, and with all the other crap going on around that university, stay out.
Yeah.
In that case, it's probably Pac-12 champ 1. I would say.
Ooh, Pac-12 champ against Bama?
Pac-12 champ, Georgia, Florida State, Bama. If Florida State wins, would be my guess.
Okay. Like it.
There is a lot out there, and here's the thing. The next rankings come out tonight. We'll see what the committee thinks. What they do with Ohio State and what they do with Alabama after that Auburn game, I think will determine a lot about what we see depending on what happens here in the conference championship weekend. We'll keep talking about this as we get closer. We'll make our picks for these games closer to the end of the week. But we're bringing back Teach Tape Tuesday. That's right. We did it a couple weeks ago. We're back here with some more Nebraska basketball breakdown from the Husker Hall of Famer and the 9-year NBA vet, specifically from the Cal State Fullerton game. What did Stricky see that led Nebraska to putting up 85 points? The Huskers still averaging over 80. What is it? What's the secret sauce? What's got the Husker offense flying that high? We'll get to that next. And keep your comments coming on the Starter Heyman text line. We will get to those after Teach Tape Tuesday on the other side.
Don't miss the most innovative ag technology that exists today on display in Lincoln at the Nebraska Ag Expo, the second largest indoor ag show in the U.S., December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Check out all the latest technology in row crop and livestock production, robotics, and more at the expanded Innovation Hub. Mark your calendar. That's December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Register online at NebraskaAgExpo.com to get your tickets in advance and save $5. See you in Lincoln. The Nebraska Ag Expo is sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you looking for some holiday fun? This year, start a new tradition. Make the Nebraska Christmas Lights Show experience an annual event for your family and a cherished memory to look forward to every year. From Black Friday to January 3rd, buckle up and tune into the rhythm of the lights and let the magic of Christmas take over with the show. Now located at Star City Shores, just off of 27th and Highway 2. Buy your tickets for just $20 or $25 per car today at NebraskaChristmasLightsShow.com.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or
I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the Chocolate Season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Genie or online at thechocolateseason.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket studio.
Enjoy some Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, November 29th at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street. Parking available on 11th Street or in nearby garages.
School bus drivers, custodians, paraeducators, and the list goes on of all the education support professionals who help every school in Nebraska run smoothly. They ensure that our students have a safe ride to school, healthy meals, and a clean environment to learn. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Take a moment to say thank you to the support staff at your child's school.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We're back here on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. If you are in your car, we appreciate you listening on the FM dial, 93.7, or on the free app for your phone. You're going to want to be on the stream for this one. We are going to attempt video sharing of some highlights from Nebraska basketball's win over Cal State Fullerton for Teach Tape Tuesday. Proper credit, of course, goes to the Big Ten Network for airing this game. But Stricky's got a breakdown for us here coming up in just a minute. But I think it's important to mention this, Strick. Two of the job openings that Nebraska football defensive coordinator Tony White was, said to be in the running for, had interviewed for, seem like they're filled. First of all, Syracuse targets Georgia coach Fran Brown for their head coaching job. And then San Diego State, the other one, seems like they're zeroed in on Sean Lewis, who was Colorado's offensive coordinator before getting demoted in midseason for Pat Shurmur. So he was the former head coach at Kent State. Seems like he's headed out there to sunny San Diego.
I think he had a faster jump. I think he had just a faster jump on the conversation as far as that's all concerned. You were able to kind of get in there, mix and mingle, stay around a little bit longer because you didn't have to deal too much with the responsibilities that you had. So unfortunate, for Coach White. Fortunate for us.
Right.
But unfortunate for him that he probably didn't have the time to rub elbows and shoulders down there at San Diego State. I think that would have been a place that he would have wanted to go.
I would think so too. Like you said, if he wanted a head coaching job, sorry he didn't get one. I mean, he's going to get more offers. He's going to get more opportunities down the road. But I think Nebraska fans can start to feel better that their defensive coordinator is coming back for a second year in Lincoln.
I think Rule's got to figure out a way to pay him.
There's that part.
Up his salary, because you want him to be you want him to be feeling good about coming back and doing an amazing job. Just watch how they recruit. I mean, you've got to feel like guys like Ty Robinson that would want to come back. There's something about that defensive side of the ball that they feel good about. You know what I mean? He gives them a lot of it. I would say that if I was playing football still, I would love the style of football that they're playing on the defensive side.
Mhm.
Just go get it, run, react, hawk. There's a lot of things that you can do from many different positions. You get to blitz and do different things like that. It would be fun style.
We should also mention this. The Big Ten All-Conference Awards came out on the defensive side of the ball today. The offense will come out tomorrow. I don't think we have to worry about Nebraska threatening for many of those positions. But, Stricky, what if I told you only one Husker made an all-conference first, second, or third team from the defense this year?
I can understand it because it was a broad. There was only one name, and I didn't see the list, but there was only one name that I think that was week in and week out impactful, and that was Nash Hutmacher.
It wasn't him,
and he was the one that I thought it maybe should have been because. He was a space eater. He made a difference in a lot of ways, but I'm surprised.
The Big Ten coaches voted Luke Reimer to the third team, 5th on Nebraska in tackles this year. No interceptions, no forced fumbles, a good handful of tackles for loss, and a couple sacks. But he was the only player from that defense with a first, second, or third team recognition, and that was only from the coaches.
I think that's respect.
From the coaches to him? Sure.
Yeah, just, because I don't think he was at his full strength throughout the year, injury or whatever. But I think Luke was more impactful in his earlier years, definitely his first campaign, first season, as opposed to this year. I think he was solid. I mean, obviously Luke can run.
Oh yeah.
So
great side.
He's a great side runner. I think that's a respect thing, for him.
The honorable mentions include Ty Robinson, Nash Hutmacher, Tommy Hill, Quentin Newsome, Isaac Gifford, and Omar Brown, all voted honorable mention by the coaches. And Jamari Butler gets an honorable mention by the media as well. So, again, I think this is another feather in Tony White's cap. A lot of good players, maybe not a great dominant player, but made that defense more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, I love that part about it. And guess what? I think you'll see one or two of them step up next year. And you'll start to see them emerge as all-conference type players after the experience that they had this year.
I'm with you on that. All right, Teach Tape Tuesday. Let's get to it. We can go 10 minutes or so with this. Again, I tweeted out the link to the video that we're going to be watching. It's up on stream. Hopefully it loads and plays well the way it's supposed to. But Stricky, we're just going to have this playing through the background. If you want to pause it.
We're going to, yes.
Hit me with the pause.
I hit you with the pause.
But the concept today, what are you going over that you've liked from Nebraska's offense?
One of the things that I'm looking at is execution, running, spacing, and movement with and without the ball.
Okay.
One of the things that I talked about, I think last year, is the read and react offensive style didn't seem to fit or complement the players that they had. I thought it helped as far as Derek and his abilities, but I don't think everybody understood outside of Casey Tamanaga late on how to navigate being a read and react type of offense. But I think you have the skill set out of Alec. I think you have the skill set out of Mast.
Williams has played a lot. Gary's played a lot.
Mature type players, understand setup.
CJ's taking a step forward.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell they bought in. So this part, even this first play here, is an execution play, which I was saying they needed to do more of in order to make sure that they got good shots. You can see the execution as they get into this play. Great screen out of Tamanaga. Great setup on both sides of them coming out of that play. I think we went. That's okay.
It's very slow. It's very choppy. Hopefully it plays.
So you got Tamanaga coming off. Great feet, and then ball movement, and look at the spacing. So you see a mature Alec clear out, where in the past, you probably could have had a jumble there. Alec did a little leak out to the right side of the baseline, so therefore, if his man helps, he has either free reign at the rebound, or he also has the ability to sneak in behind for a little drop-off and a dump-off. So that's part of the execution you saw there. And you can let it run at this point.
We'll let it run.
And I'll just talk about it.
You mentioned, too, as we were going through this off air, Nebraska would, get shots last year out of similar concepts, but Nebraska's not just getting shots, but making shots available and getting good shots. And the shooting percentages have gone up. What's the difference between Nebraska getting shots last year versus Nebraska creating and making the good shots this year?
It's an understanding of what a good shot is. So sometimes there would be an extra pass, a nonsense extra pass, trying to make a better shot, but ends up not being a better shot. And then you end up even having a shot clock violation, or you end up just with a kind of forced shot because you actually had the best shot at that time. You passed it up trying to create a better shot, which is okay in the mind to do. But sometimes they're realizing this year, Austin, that where the good shots are coming from. And so you're getting shot fakes, you're getting flybys, you're getting then push to pressure, and they're knowing where their spacing is and where their guys are going to be on the court. Guys are getting in spaces on the court to where it makes sense, to where it stretches the defense and it makes it harder for them to cover on recovery. So it's been good.
Something that I think some people would have a question about too is when you say movement on offense, obviously being in motion, making sure defenders have eyes on you as a player is key. But sometimes the best way to move is slow, to set a guy up, to walk him in, to walk him down, and then explode. How does Nebraska handle those situations? Are you seeing just them constantly in motion, or do you see some of that good change of pace?
That was last year. That's what I'm seeing now. You're seeing it also on the fast break opportunities. When they're getting fast breaks, they're running now for opportunities. Remember, there was a lot of discussions we had last year, Austin, about just running to a spot or running to a... They're actually understanding, no, run for a layup this time. Or they're understanding where to slice into to give an open passing lane for a penetrating player. They're understanding where the shots are going to come from out of break situations. Mast is understanding trail and lane runs. And so they're getting a good understanding of how and where each other are going to be. You saw in one instance, if you're able to watch it from the Twitch, the X stream, there was one situation where Tamanaga had a dribble drive penetration. He ends up going to the baseline on a half spin back to the baseline. Help comes over. He finds Jawan in the corner. In the past, Jawan maybe would have been too high. He was deep in the corner because there's no way he can make that pass if he's anywhere but where Jawan Gary was. So they're doing a good job of coaching spacing and knowing where those guys are and where they're going to be.
And shooters sliding into those passing pockets, staying in the vision, right? We talk about that with football a lot, where just find the open spot in the zone, sit in it. But with basketball, it's so important to, when the defense is shifting, either go with it or flow
away
against
from
it, right?
Right. And that's one of the issues that I think this Nebraska football team has to figure out, because other teams do it well. If your quarterback is in scramble mode, you just know how to roll with it or slide out or understand what your route trees are. So like if you're caught on a dig, a 10 yard dig, which is going inside, right? You got a zone. So you don't run across the zone in that specific instance. You kind of sit in it, right? But then if there's a defender there and he comes over to
Max Jones on the bench, so where are they going to
you
get that
want to
offense
roll
from?
out of it and go back outside, maybe to the corner, or come back to your quarterback to find an opening. What you'll see on tape with Nebraska is they're standing there watching, and you get blanketed and there's nobody moving. You're just kind of dancing around in the coverage and not getting a lane open for your quarterback. So this Nebraska team is on the basketball side, understands this part of it. They understand when to back out from a screen, when driving lanes are open, if guys are coming over to take away the drive. They're understanding where that next pass is. Their defense has been phenomenal as well, as far as their help and recoveries. It's been great.
We just saw a transition play out of Nebraska, and I want to hit on that to finish out Teach Tape Tuesday here. There are different kinds of transition, right? 2-on-1, if you get anything but a dunk or a layup, you're doing it wrong. Casey's kind of backed off and shot a couple threes. He might be the exception to the rule. But how important is recognizing if it's 2-on-1 versus 3-on-2 versus 4-on-3, and then also who you are as a player? Am I a spacer? Am I a cutter? Am I a rim runner? What goes into all those different situations?
It goes into knowing who you are, and then knowing where the advantage or the disadvantage is in that specific situation. If you have a disadvantage, if you have an advantage situation and you're a trail guy, you don't run down and clog it up because the shot's going to come on the trail, right? It's either going to come from, because everybody is taught, you got to understand what guys are taught. Everybody is taught, get to the paint, fan out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at an advantage, everybody by way of coach is forcing themselves into the paint to minimize the disadvantage that they have. Therefore, trail opportunities are going to happen. So on the fan out, the trail guy then has a decision to make. How much space is before him on his closeout? If it's a hard closeout, don't take the shot there because it's going to be a hard challenge. It's a shot fake, fly by, get into the next one. If the next guy doesn't come, it's a pull-up.
Mm-hmm.
If the next guy doesn't come, it's a floater. If the next guy doesn't come, I hesitate. Nobody comes, I'm at the rim. So it's a progression. If they do rotate, then it's next. And then I'm next, who the next closeout guy to me is. How far away is he? How fast can he get here? If he's hard closeout, then I'm next to the corner because there's nobody that can get there. Those are the shots that you're seeing Nebraska get now. They were missing some of them early. They're now starting to make them. And if they can continue to do that, they'll have a good season.
I like the mix that Nebraska has when you look at its transition game, because rink mass, I think, is great as a trailer. Rebound, outlet, follow up the play. Alec can do that. I love him as a rim runner. Even if he's the rebounder, he outlets, he can still run the floor.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Wilcher can do both. I love him as a rebound, outlet, and then trail, but also if he's ahead, he's a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Casey, same way. Bryce Williams, if you get him late as a trail, I like that because then he can drive and kind of start that secondary. So I think guys have to know
Jamarcus is to the
he's
lane.
A flash.
And now he's understanding that midi part of him,
right?
That they cut it off. He either hits him with a back dribble or between the dribble step back, and he's hitting middies now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm telling you, they're learning. They're growing as far as what they're seeing on tape. You can tell they're watching or you can tell they're having discussions with the coaches because you can see those progressions starting to be effective in the games.
And your point on Jamarcus from yesterday still rings true. 12 assists, no turnovers in the last 3 games for a guy that's still learning how to play point guard.
Yeah. And you got to love that because I think he'll only get better.
He sure will. Great stuff on Teach Tape Tuesday. We kind of got the stream to work. We'll make sure we get that ironed out a little bit. But again, if you want to check the highlights, I tweeted them out. Stricky retweeted them. And pair that video with this segment on the podcast audio that'll be up for you here in just a little bit. We'll step aside. We'll bring Jay Foreman in, cross it over, get you set up for old school. I'm going to get back.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Join me, Sip, and Coach Bush for early break this Friday, December 1st at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge. Call today to reserve your free lane for free bowling at 402-467-3249. And if you don't bowl, still enjoy free coffee and donuts. That's this Friday for the 60th anniversary of Madsen's Bowling and Billiards. Early break, 6 to 8 on location.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound prepackaged pecano roast for free. Limit 3 per visit while supplies last. Also, through the 5th, get 20% off all cheese and crackers. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to attend our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. It's the best time to buy parts all year. Take advantage of specials December 6th through the 15th with additional savings the day of your local expo. Find savings on oil and filters, gifts for under the tree, and most pre-ordered John Deere parts. Visit with our trained and certified technicians and sign up for our service specials. Don't miss out. It only comes around once a year at your local Landmark Implement. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for a complete schedule of our expo events and experience the Landmark difference.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you here, soon to be joined by Jay Foreman. Y'all have been great on the Starter Heyman text line at 402-464-5685. I'm trying to find this text here because I think it's worth addressing. We good?
I've done that before.
You good? Jay Foreman, you good?
Yeah, my car's still on.
Shake the floor. Shake the floor.
Someone on the text line was talking about Nebraska's quarterback situation. Shocker, there's a lot going on there. But their question was, why did Nebraska go away from running the option at the end of the year? They thought it was successful. Here's the thing. Heinrich Harburg was definitely the best fit for that with his size. He was still learning it. He got banged up. Nebraska went away from it. But other teams started to catch on to it. Nebraska wasn't running it well enough to force them into that numbers. We were just talking about transition basketball, Strick. Nebraska wasn't forcing teams into making those tough decisions, so they weren't good enough at it. They weren't learning it quick enough, and their best quarterback went down. So I don't blame Marcus Satterfield from going away from it by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think, really, the coaching staff, I was just from the outside looking in, is that they were trying to just patchwork whoever they had available, both by if they were, playing well enough, healthy, and your opponent. And it was a kind of a wrinkle that obviously paid dividends on the option passes. And you had a couple big runs. But the option is something that you have to work on a lot. I mean, it ain't something that you can just pick up. It's the equivalent of being a Steph Curry type of 3-point shooter. You got to work at it because you got to be very precise. You got to have a tremendous amount of confidence. It comes to ball handling, timing. How you block a certain front on the same play will change how you run the option. based on that front because of the blocking schemes. The guy will come off a block, or who you're optioning off will change.
Mm-hmm.
It could change from 3 players on just one play, and so that's just a repetition thing. And and we had success at it, but then we also had success at conventional run game and other stuff as well. I think the biggest thing that's stymied any type of like consistent, I'm talking about series in, series out, half in, quarter out, is the turnovers and the untimely turnovers, that when you start to get a little bit of momentum, because it's like equivalent of Strick. You go on a run, a 6 or 8-0 run, and then next thing you know, you're coming down to take the lead and you dribble off your foot.
Right.
Well, then it's like, well, we got a turnover. Well, it has nothing to do with the opposing defense of the basketball. It's self-inflicted wounds. So I think it's people are worried about what type of offensive scheme you're running. I think ultimately in this year they realized that you probably, with the injury situation, you had a receiver that you were counting on in some form or fashion. He quit right in the middle of the training camp. 2 guys get hurt early that were one, Marcus Washington was expected to have a big role. Then everything fell on Billy Kemp. And then now you're reeling, and then so I think it just wasn't the ideal situation to get any continuity going on. Then they pivot, things started to work. And then you had to pivot again, because then you have a quarterback in Chuba Purdy that was finally healthy, that could throw the ball a little bit.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
To that point you guys are making about the turnovers being inflicted by Nebraska more so than the defense in a lot of cases, how much of most of those turnovers was on coaching? How much of that is on players? And how much of it is just conditioning? Like Nebraska got tired at the end of the drive and made a stupid mistake because they're not in good enough physical or mental shape. Does that play a part at all?
I mean, I'd never thought about that. I mean, it's true. Probably just like in basketball, if you're not in good enough shape and you can't finish, I mean, maybe that's it. But I think,
because a lot of them came in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
Right. You'd play fine for 3 quarters, enough to be in the game. And then that one backbreaker late, which makes me wonder if conditioning is a part.
Yeah. But I think they practiced pretty, plenty hard. And, to a T, I think the team was in better physical condition. I mean, they looked like a better team, right? When you think of Nash being able to play all 4 quarters and play at a pretty decent level. Even Ty Robinson felt like he was in a little bit better shape, which I think hampered him, for the last couple of years. And you think even a guy like Bryce Benhart, it definitely took to, being more physically fit, and some other guys. So I think it's maybe a little bit more just mental focus, but I mean, the only people would know that is probably the coaches.
Sure. The players themselves.
I just think as things got tight, you get in there, and I think I'm telling you, I think when you get close and you're good enough to do it, you start to watch that clock over there, and then you start to play like a totally different. I would say I can always tell when there's a player that might be getting overcoached or feel like he's on the hot seat or feel like he can't make a mistake. It looks like they're playing and thinking at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like in basketball, you're shooting. A person's just shooting it, and the shot looks a lot different if they're having 100% confident in their shot and who they're playing with, or coaches or situation. So,
was there a moment for both of you where you kind of flipped that switch from thinking and playing at the same time to just playing? High school, college, pros, anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say I had moments. Probably when I went from starting to more of a role player, then there was thinking moments. I would say definitely in Milwaukee when Terry Porter was the coach, because I was trying to communicate him, find out how I can, because I was actually a captain of that team, and find out how I could be of service to him in whatever capacity. But I couldn't get him to be honest with me on it. So I'm out here trying to think about what maybe he wants me to do, as opposed to understanding my role. Like when I was a starter, when I was a 6th man, I knew what I needed to do. I was a change of pace guy. I would come in, whether it be defensively or whether it be by way of push. I knew what I was going to do, so I would stay in that vein. So it is.
It is. Yeah, I mean, I remember clearly. I was in my, I think, 4th year in Buffalo, kind of pre-contract year, contract year. Greg Williams is there. I kind of, felt like just through talking to Jerry Gray and just how, I was like kind of a co-starter, the first couple years of my career. I had one, really good season, or what I felt was a, ascending season.
Mhm.
By no means perfect. Here comes a new coach. I'm the lowest paid, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And they talk to the price, and all that. I'm a
Yeah.
late round draft choice, so, I'm replaceable, and they draft Corey Moore. That doesn't work out. They get some other scrubs in there. That don't work out. Well,
Then you become that guy.
Well, then you start to think about like, okay, well, I'm leading the team in tackles. I'm leading the team in tackles for loss. I got a sack here. I'm doing this. And all of a sudden, all right, you're not playing on third down. So then you start to think like, all right, am I going to get tendered or am I going to get middle? So they had a low tender, middle tender, and a high tender. That's the way it was back. It's totally different now. So you're like, okay, well, where am I at? Then you try to read the conversations. Then it's a whole new, back then, I think that coaching staff had a lot of young coaches, right? Because it was Greg Williams and the coordinators and a bunch of guys that never coached in the pros.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have no obligation to you. So then you're really out there playing. And I'll never forget, I was playing good, losing a lot of sleep and stuff, and really was like physically getting like kind of felt like worn down. I mean, I was good enough to go in the game, but still, worn down. And I remember just that I was at, I had this apartment in West Seneca, we all lived in the same apartments. We were all trying to save money, the same complex. And I remember just sitting there.
Was it bigger than this room?
Barely.
Okay.
It was like these two, right?
Okay.
But it was cool. I mean, we would, and so
dorm style.
Yeah. And I remember sitting up there one time and just thinking about stuff. I was like kind of studying plays as I was eating. And I just was like, bump it. I was just like, you know what? I don't even care what they think. I know I'm a good player.
Yeah.
And no matter what I do, if I go out there and play well, there's nothing that they can say. So I'm not even going to worry about it. So I just became focused on when I'm in the game, that next play, I'm going to make it my best play. That's all I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to focus on nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to worry about mistakes. Obviously, if I make them, I know I made them.
Yeah.
I mean, so once I kind of changed that mindset, I actually started to play better. And then it started to just go, then it was like, oh, they started to come to me and then, do that. Now, there were some injuries and some guys started to play real bad. Now they got egg on their face. Now, then once the season's done, I hit the highway. I was gone. As soon as we left that team meeting, my agent already knew what I wanted. I wanted up out of there. And it never, and so that can happen. And I think if sometimes, you can be in that way where you're thinking about the end goal versus the main thing needs to be the main thing and be where your cleats are. But sometimes if there's not, and this isn't the case at Nebraska, and especially in the pros, I always have a lot of respect for the coaches. Like Antonio Pierce had to cut Marcus Peters. That's a veteran guy, Pro Bowl guy. Not a pro football Hall of Famer, but
Hall of very good.
But a Hall of very, very good defensive backs and a former player. He kept it real with him. This is business. Look, we're losing. Somebody's got to be the scapegoat. You didn't do what Marcus. So and this, those coaches you talked about, Terry Porter, see, that's where it's disappointing. He's a former player. He's been in that situation. I don't think he was very highly drafted because I remember kind of following with the Portland Trailblazers. There's a code of conduct that you should always have. Coach the player. Because I think even though it is a higher up decision, right? So I'm Coach, hey, Chris Strick, we gotta put you down a little bit. I can still say, you know the deal. My man's drafted. Here's what I need from you to come to work every day, be a good advocate. You're gonna get another chance. You just got to be ready.
That's
if you communicate that stuff in any form or fashion, then you're good. And then that's how you. And then because you know what, that's how you keep a locker room. But when you don't do stuff like that, that's how you lose a locker room.
And that's what happened.
That's how Josh McDaniels loses a locker room.
Yeah.
When you up here, and Antonio Pierce is talking about when they won a Super Bowl, trying to motivate the team that you're coaching. Essentially, he's putting his neck on the line for you. And then you say, well, don't ever, talk district. Don't even talk about the Patriots losing again. You done. That's how you get. Now, granted, he's compensated chilling. So everybody, that's why Greg Olson said he'd be the coach of the Panthers. Everybody want to be a head coach now because you get paid. You know you're gonna get fired. Hey, I'll rather.
Reich is like, okay.
I'll be the coach of the Panthers. You coach 11 games, and I'm out of here. I mean, so I think it's just one of those things that I think a lot of the learning lessons that these players learned this year. And we're going to talk about this we got the all conference teams coming. We're going to be talking about the portal. We're going to be talking about the coaching carousel. But some of those defensive players that feel slighted, I got a nice little message for you. Very, very clear message.
There it is.
Let them pads do the talking.
Period.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. 93.7 The Ticket. That'll be Old School with DP&J. Stricky, good to have you back.
Yes, sir.
We'll do it again tomorrow. You're not getting rid of me. Football season's over, so I'm here all week now.
We're here, baby.
We're here. That'll do it for On the Block. Again, back 2 to 4 tomorrow. DP&J come up next with Old School from 4 to 6, only here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you looking for some holiday fun? This year, start a new tradition. Make the Nebraska Christmas Lights Show experience an annual event for your family and a cherished memory to look forward to every year. From Black Friday to January 3rd, buckle up and tune into the rhythm of the lights and let the magic of Christmas take over with the show. Now located at Star City Shores, just off of 27th and Highway 2. Buy your tickets for just $20 or $25 per car today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com. Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference. Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries